So on the 15th of March, I released my first AI-assisted video game, and I want to use this video to talk, just basically reflecting on things that I thought went well, didn't go well, etc. So the first thing I will say is that I was pretty impressed in terms of what I was able to make. And this is coming from someone who's never made a video game before, and I used AI to do all the code, all the images, and all the debugging, etc. Now, I started off using ChatGPT. This was literally a case of being able to copy and paste code back and forth and copy and paste ideas and get it to update it and so on and so forth. Now, I'm actually really surprised I ended up doing this because this, looking back now, was really painful experience. I was able to make progress, but I got lots of errors going on, and I had to copy and paste like 5, 6 separate scripts worth of code just to give AI enough context for what was going on. And over time, obviously, I was able to pick up other tools and so on and so forth. One of the biggest mistakes I'll say that I made with Scarred Steel, well, a lot of people can say the fact that I used AI to begin with, which is probably true. But one of the big ones was that I focused far too much on the visuals of the game rather than the actual gameplay and getting it working. And what I mean by that is I spent so much time making so many images to refine how something looked, whether it was in a cutscene, a character portrait, a background, you name it. And I'm not saying that that's bad, right? I think polish is good, but I was doing it so early into the process and I didn't actually have anything like the game wasn't made yet. It wasn't fully done. Like everything wasn't working the way I needed it to be. And I think if I had just focused on maybe having placeholders in the relevant places, so I could just focus on the game itself and getting it working, and then going to polish and refine, that probably would have made my life a lot easier. And one of the things as well, or I guess the second thing, was that the art style kept changing, right? And like initially, I mean, if you take a look at like my first like couple devlogs, the art style was very like, I don't know, low quality, or I don't really know how to describe it, but I guess maybe like it looked maybe a bit more hand drawn or something. And compared to what it is now, obviously it's very, very different. Now, part of that could be the fact that from I guess June 2025 to March 2026, the image models have undoubtedly improved. And I think the issue was that I would make images, for example, for cutscenes, and all of a sudden, the AI I was using, whether it was ChatGPT or Gemini, would make a image that was slightly better quality than the previous ones. And I thought, I'd prefer that over the ones I've been making. So that was the difficulty. I think another difficulty was probably the fact I did a story-rich game with the amount of cutscenes that I did. Now, originally I was thinking, right, well, if I can get AI to make all the images and the cutscenes, that's great. And it was, other than the fact of trying to reach consistency. This being consistency with the art style, which was difficult enough with AI models just getting better and having to describe things in a certain way, but also trying to get consistency of characters, specifically the main character. There must be at least maybe 200, if not 300 or more, cutscene images with the main character in there. And how on earth you can get AI to nail the way he looks every time is probably impossible to some level or another. So that's been really, really challenging. But other than that, I think and again, I'm not going to say this game's incredible. I'm pretty impressed with what I was able to make. Um, and I think from there, other than that, I think, especially with the coding parts, being able to outsource stuff to Cursor was the best thing I had ever done. Cursor, for reference, think of it as ChatGPT, but when you give it a prompt and you speak to it, it goes away and it edits your code. Like it goes away and edits your script. It can make new scripts. It can delete some if you want. It is incredible. You can queue prompts as well. Like I literally had a moment where I queued about 9 or 10 prompts. Like after I had done a playtest, I went for a walk, like a half an hour walk, came back. It was still going. I had like 5 left, went and ate, came back, and it was done. And for reference, Cursor pretty much for the most part gets stuff fixed within at least the first or second prompt. There's very few times where I have to go a bit more than that with certain things. So yeah, Cursor was really, really quite good. And the cool thing, at least now, is that I know moving forward, I can now start from experience. Start from experience with using Unity, but also with using various AI tools. Now, in terms of tools that I'm going to look to use moving forward with other games, obviously I'm going to be using Cursor from the beginning. That's going to be super useful instead of having to start with ChatGPT. The second thing is I'm going to be probably starting with Gemini. More specifically, the Nano Banana 2 model. That's actually been really quite good in terms of quality. The only thing I will say is I have no idea why, but the Nano Banana model really struggles and doesn't like it when you try and put people in an image and refine it. It talks about things like, oh yeah, like I can't do that because it's a public figure. It's very weird. Sometimes I just have to keep trying and eventually it lets me do it. But Nano Banana model has been really quite good. Suno for music is undeniably one of the best things I've ever done with AI. Really, really cool music. All you need to do is literally buy the subscription, make the music. You can cancel the subscription after, and that music is literally yours to use however you want. So yeah, really, really quite cool. I think yeah, that like this is pretty much the video. I haven't really focused on having much structure with it. I just wanted to talk from the top of my head. But yeah, arguably, I think Scarred Steel, I'm pretty happy with for a first project. Again, it's my first project. I know there's quite a few things which I look at and go, that could be a bit better. But again, I'm really probably like not going to spend too much time on it. But if you've got any other questions, or if you've got any questions around using AI for game development, whether that's everything, whether that's, for example, music, etc., I'm more than happy to talk more with you guys in Discord if you want, or just simply I can make more videos on it. Obviously, I'm still sort of learning things and picking things up as we go. I know there's been all sorts of other image AI models, things like Seedance 2.0, in terms of being able to make some really cool videos and such. But again, I think really what I'm really reflecting on for this is that if I had focused on the gameplay and getting things working as a priority over the way things look, that would have made a massive difference. Because I even see games which are like pixel art, but they are like overwhelmingly positive with reviews. So it's stuff like that which I'm still reflecting on. But that's pretty much where I'm at. Again, if you have any questions or any thoughts on the stuff I'm doing, feel free to share or ask. But that said, I'll catch you soon.